I'm a former egg donor, and I'm pretty sure I just saw one of my donations in the wild. I donated 6 times between 2018 and 2021, I believe, resulting in 7 live birds. As far as I know, there could be more. I know some of the couples saved some of them for future in case it didn't work. And I donated anonymously, but they told me it won't be anonymous with the easy access to genealogy and stuff. They warned me that I probably will get phone calls or knocks on the doors or Facebook messages or whatever. So I was prepared for that. What I was not prepared for was walking through Target today and seeing a child that made me stop in my tracks with how alike we looked. Eerily similar. I don't want to be a mom at all, and I literally have no maternal instinct. Obviously, I don't even know if this was my child, but it reminded me that they're out there. Looked happy and healthy and pretty cute, if I do say so myself.
Earlier this year, I donated my eggs, and I don't know why it's been on my heart so much lately, but I'm so excited for the day that the child or the children reach out to me, and it's on a site where I can see when the lots are given to families or purchased by families. So I know for sure there's one lot already gone. It just fills me with so much excitement and anticipation. Obviously I'm going to have my family with my wife, and those children technically won't be my children, but I look forward to incorporating them into my world if they want to be. That's just something that I don't know. I've just been thinking about my future, my family, the wanting babies a lot lately. So that's probably why it's been on my head. But the fact that I'm going to have these little people reaching out to me, well, they won't be little people when they reach out, but I'm going to have my creations reaching out, that really excites the F out of me, and it makes me so happy.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Hope, and we're back here with another video. And by the title, you can go ahead and see we're about to go ahead and get into how people are doing literally anything to make money right now. We're talking about selling eggs, gig economy, all types of side hustles to make this money at the end of the month. So let's go ahead and get into the risk with that. What's going on? Why are people out here? Let's get into it right now. You see the title.
Follow me on my journey on becoming an egg donor. I recommend anyone to do it who is open and willing to help a family and, make some easy money. In my case, I use the money for school, which is great. This actually isn't my first time going through this process, though. But, as women, we're born with millions of hundreds of thousands of eggs. So giving away 10 to 30 eggs is just a drop in the bucket, So what you'll do is you'll go into a clinic every other day for an ultrasound and blood work, and they'll monitor the eggs, make sure everything is going well. And there's a lot more to discuss, but I am running out of time, so comment if you're interested in part 2.
You are not going to believe how much I just got paid to donate my ginger eggs. So I've been, hustling, trying to earn a little bit of money for myself, trying to get that house and the Audi R8 that I really want in my life. And I thought, okay, so what can I do about this? I can donate my eggs to earn a little bit of money. So that is what I did. I went to the clinic. They found out I was a redhead, and they said, we don't get many of you, especially with blue eyes. So I'm going to give you a bonus. And I said, okay, that is a little bit discriminatory to everyone else, but I'll keep it hush hush. I kept it hush hush. I received the pay packet through the post today. You will not believe it, what I got. You won't believe it. So you get the £1,000 that everyone is giving for donating the eggs, but they also slipped some gold coins in there. They knew I was a leprechaun, and they said, let's celebrate this girl. So thank you for the gold coins, guys. It's great.
I sold my children for $60,000, and the number one question I get asked is, do I regret it? Where are my children now? Do I still have contact with them? And to answer your questions, so in my 20s, I was an egg donor, and I did about 6 egg retrievals, and in the end made around $60,000. Obviously, donating your eggs has lifelong consequences and implications, and one of those is that somewhere out there, I have my DNA running around. 5 out of the 6 couples that I donated to have decided to remain anonymous, and I am in no contact with them. But one of the couples I am actually very good friends with, and I keep in touch via Instagram and Facebook. They are a gay couple from France, and both are so handsome, successful, and the only thing missing from their lives was a child. And I know this is gonna sound absolutely crazy, but about 3 years ago, I started dating a guy from France. I met this guy online, we chatted for 4 months, and after 4 months, I was like, okay, I'm gonna hop on a plane to France and meet you. And so I was posting all over Instagram and social media that I was gonna be taking a trip to Paris. And these two guys reached out to me and said, hey, like, we're in Paris, we would love to meet up with you and introduce you to our daughter. So not only did I hop on a plane to meet a guy that I met off of the internet for the first time, but I also was going to meet my biological daughter for the first time. I just remember seeing her for the first time and being like, oh my gosh, she really does look like me. It was a really surreal experience, and I don't think that a lot of egg donors get to have the experience of meeting the child that their eggs produced, which sounds so crazy. But yeah, that's been my experience. And so at the end of the day, a lot of people ask me, do I regret selling my children for $60,000? And the answer is no, and it will always be no.
Now, of course, I definitely do know that this isn't a new side hustle, selling your eggs and things like that, but it is new to me. I didn't know anything about it. So for you to be able to make racks, I'm talking racks off of selling your eggs, insane. And then, wait, hold on. We're going to have to react to this lady. She said, I made $60,000 from selling my eggs. Or no, not even that. I made $60,000 from selling my kids. Why you got to start the video like that? I understand it's social media, TikTok. I'll give you a pass for that. But come on, you're wild for that. So, I got to go ahead and get into the comments, especially about her talking about selling her kids for $60,000. What the people talking about? All right. So the top comment here we have, what a wild way to phrase that. No, extremely wild way to phrase that. Why you got to say you so... But I get it. It's social media, TikTok. You got to try to get the views, attention. Okay. And then the next comment here, you didn't sell your children. You gave the gift of life to people who desperately needed it. Facts. Yeah, shout out to everybody who is, hey, being able to help somebody get born. But, dang, it's so wild. Yeah, selling your eggs, $60,000. You get $60,000 for... Whoa. And then the last comment here, 2-time egg donor here, 2 sets of twins, and I have a relationship with all 4 kids. Best decision I've ever made. All right, hey, I don't know. This is a different world for me. I've never had to experience this, but if it works, it works.
Do not donate your eggs. I'm only going to say it once. I know the ads are going crazy. Times is hard. Do not donate your eggs. Okay, I've been seeing mad ads. I've seen like 6 different ads from 6 different companies talking about donate your eggs, get $5,000 to $10,000. So I have a friend who fell for the ad, right? She donated her eggs. I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's not no short 1-2 process. It's a huge time commitment. It's months. You have to go to multiple doctor's appointments. You have to do injections. You have to do self-injections. You have to do a psychological test. There is a high risk associated with extracting eggs from your body. It's a high risk. You run the risk of ovarian cancer, getting ovarian cysts, having chronic pain for the rest of your life after that. They don't talk about that. And also you can get, it's called hypertension in your fallopian tubes or something. And your fallopian tubes can end up twisting and completely cutting off the circulation, and they'll have to remove your entire uterus, where you won't even be able to have children anymore. Now you're infertile. They don't talk about these things. They lead with the money. My friend now has chronic pain. She has to go to the doctor constantly. She has no choice. Yes, she got the money. Mind you, you don't get the whole $10,000, $30,000, whatever they offering you, because every company offers you something different. And they don't give you the money all one whoop whop. They give you it at every stage. If you do the first doctor appointment, they give you $500. Oh, if you do the injections, they give you more money. And then if you do this, it's at every level they give you more money. It's not worth it. Don't fall for these ads. I keep seeing them. I know they pushing them heavy. They're really taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people are desperate for money right now, especially during the holidays. And I just want a lot of women to be aware that this is not some easy procedure that can just be done a quick 1-2 and you're just going to go back to your regular life. This can really handicap you. And I don't think it's worth the money. It's just not worth that little bit of money. $10,000, $20,000, $35,000, it's not worth you being in pain for the rest of your life. Maybe other people have a different type of experience. I don't know. But I know from my close friends' experience that I would not wish that on nobody.
Because I don't know too much about this procedure and it's all new to me, this side hustle about selling your eggs, I did want to see what are the dangers. And for this clip to go ahead and break that down, all the complications that come with donating your eggs, you literally are risking your life. Injections, she's going in on this clip.
You know, it's something I don't see too many people talking about right now in the economy. It's this. So layoffs are just starting for a lot of people, right? And it's only gonna get worse as the winter comes through. Like right after Christmas, January, February, better believe there's gonna be a lot of layoffs, especially going into Q1 when these guys can afford to dump a lot of payroll, or whenever their new tax cycle begins, right? You see how everyone is pushing for like these gig economy apps, like, you know, Uber, Instacart, DoorDash, all of that type of stuff, right? A lot of these things are gonna get flooded with a lot of people in these situations, because think about it. For a lot of people who need the cash right away, right? That's gonna be their quickest opportunity to make some quick cash. So if I were someone who was doing like Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats, anything like that, I would start preparing from now. And this is exactly how I would start doing that. You're gonna have to start like multi-apping like a madman or a madwoman. Like if you're just doing one or two apps, you're playing yourself, bro, because the order is about to dry up. And think about it, not only are the orders about to dry up, the good type of orders are about to dry up, because think about it like this: the amount of people who are gonna be making like $70 Uber Eats purchases and leaving like $15 tips, it's still gonna happen, but it's gonna go way down, like the amount of frequency that you're gonna see those, because there's more people on the app, and then on top of that, the recession's going on, so there's less people spending that type of money. So unfortunately, if you're in that situation, you're doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, all that type of stuff, you're gonna have to start doing that like a madman. You're gonna have to start multi-apping like crazy. Like you're gonna have to be on every single app. You see what I'm saying? So that there's just no dead time. And I know people don't want to hear it, but like you're gonna have to work like 6-7 days a week. Like the days of working 5 days a week, especially if you're on those platforms, bro, those are gone, fam. Those are gone. That's not happening no more.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the next side hustle or gig economy job, Uber here. Now, people are saying Uber is a ripoff, Uber is a scam. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Full disclosure, I do go ahead and turn on that app every now and then to go ahead and make some coins. So let's go ahead and see what they're talking about and see if I can relate, or if you can relate, because I know it's hard out here.
Uber is one of the worst things to happen to America. Because like we've essentially now have massive corporations acting as middlemen. They are just facilitating, or I should say, inserting themselves in a process that they really don't need to be in, and then profiting crazily off of that. Uber does what? It's a ride-sharing app, right? Does Uber provide the vehicles? No. So there's no cost to Uber. Does Uber provide vehicle maintenance? No. So there's no cost to them. The cost comes to the driver and the consumer, right? If I'm paying for an Uber, I'm paying to take a ride somewhere, and the driver is getting paid for that ride. However, Uber takes a large portion of that money and doesn't have to pay a lot in terms of like I guess payment to the employees, because they don't have employees. They have independent contractors. And since they're independent contractors, they are not guaranteed a wage. So Uber can take all this profit from stealing from the workers and then just pocket it. Airbnb, same situation. Airbnb doesn't have buildings that they use and rent out. It's people's homes. And because of that market, people are now, who have the means to do so, buying up apartments and areas just to rent out for Airbnbs, which again gives them money, but for the consumers. All these businesses now, even hotels like the Marriott, you have Walmart, you have Target, as I talked about yesterday. All of these people are now trying to become middlemen. They want to outsource things and make all the profit. I just saw a video where they were, it was Some More News. I love that show. They were talking about this, and they were talking about the fact that there was a guy who in like Cedar Rapids hired a construction crew to help build a home. The construction crew that he hired a secondary contractor to do that, and that contractor brought people from outside of the state with him to this job site to work on the job. No one was getting paid, and the workers ran out of money and food. They were there for a month. They ran out of food. They eventually got back pay because, they went to court, but Aurora Boreas we're entering now, where you hire someone to do a task. Meanwhile, they're getting the money, and then they're contracting that to someone else, and they're contracting to someone else, and so on and so forth. That's not sustainable. But these corporations don't care. This gig economy that we all are finding ourselves having to participate in is the goal. Like this is what they wanted. They want us to be independent contractors so they can over forever. Why do you think they're so anti-union? Why do you think they would rather pay these fines than actually pay people? Because it's the easier way to make money for them. Fines are always way less than a proper state make by exploiting people, because we don't have any sort of institution within this country with enough funding to have any teeth to do any actual damage. Because we have had these rich people lobbying for such a long time that we view those industries that would regulate them as the enemies. Like, think about it. Businesses, corporations have lobbyists that basically get to dictate how regulated corporations can be. No other area works that way. Like, imagine if we were like, I know police ACAB, right? But imagine if we were like, hey, so you could only pull me over 2 times a year. Otherwise, we're gonna sue you doing this job. Like, that'd be crazy. But that's how corporations work. They have the power to be like, actually, we're not gonna let you confirm this person because they're very anti-gig economy, but we'll let you confirm this person. And that just works for them.
Working for companies like Lyft and Uber is a scam. People refuse to admit it, but it's the truth. Let me explain. The gig economy doesn't exist to offer people flexible, low-commitment jobs. It exists to make things cheaper for the next generation of tech companies. Rideshare drivers are independent contractors. That means companies don't have to pay them benefits and they're legally unable to unionize. The model also shifts a lot of the risk of the job onto the contractor. The companies pay above market rates knowing that drivers will not properly account for the long-term cost of running their car into the ground. The flexibility of gig economy comes at a steep cost for workers.
Somebody who does drive every now and then, I can definitely tell you Uber is absolutely a scam. Absolutely is a scam because not only the way that they pay you, they ain't paying you right and fairly, but also you got to talk in the effect of you have to take into the effect the damage that's going into your car. Absolutely is a scam, but when you need some coins, you got to put some food on the table. You got to do what you got to do. I understand.
If you were an Uber driver, would you take this ride? Now, how you read this is you would make about $94 for 2 hours and 20 minutes of your time. You might be like, wow, that's over 40 bucks an hour. That's great. I'll take that. What are Uber drivers complaining about? They're making over 40 bucks an hour. And a lot of new Uber drivers will see that, 94 and 2+ hours, that's great, I'll take it. But an experienced Uber driver knows that this ride is bullshit for many reasons. One, it's not just 2 hours and 20 minutes. If you live in Scottsdale where this ride starts, you gotta make your way all the way back. So that's 2 hours and 20 minutes to Tucson and 2+ hours back to where you live. So that's really 4 hours total. And you might be like, okay, I mean, $94 and 4 hours, that's still not too bad. But the key here, experienced Uber drivers will not look at the total time, they will look at the total mileage, which is 145 miles. And that's just one way. And so that's 290 miles round trip, which is crazy for only $94. The IRS and the US government thinks in order to operate a vehicle for your work, it costs you 65 cents per mile. So you are not making any profit when you consider gas and you consider wear and tear in the car and everything that goes into operating a car for gig work. And you are losing money when you consider the fact that you have to drive your ass back 2 hours and 20 minutes back to where you came from. And if you live in Arizona, you know that you don't want to go to Tucson. Tucson, go Devils. Yeah, if you're in a pinch, if you're $90 short on rent and rent's due tomorrow, you might just want to go ahead and take it. I don't know. Or you never know. The passenger obviously has the money. They might leave you a really nice tip. You might have a really nice conversation. You might meet a new best friend in those 2 hours. Or they could be a jerk and you hate your life for 2 hours. So I personally would not recommend taking any long drives until Uber compensates the drivers better for these long trips and accounts for the fact that we got to drive back. So what would you?
Now, would you do that drive for 290 miles for $94 when you know that you're about to be spending 4 hours driving and your car is about to get beat up with almost 300 miles and you're only getting $94? And that was back when Uber was actually paying a little bit more. They were still gouging prices on the drive about the guests who are paying and giving the driver crumbs, but it's even more now. For this exact ride, they'll give you 60 to 70 bucks now if you're lucky. That's how it's going in this economy. It's sad out here and it's insane, man, but I understand. You got to do what you got to do. All right, so we understand that there's financially they're not paying you. And we understand that you're doing long range miles and you're messing up your car. But what about the actual risk about somebody being in your car?
Dashboard video shows the moment an Uber driver was shot at while picking up a woman in Chicago.
Go, go, go. You finna shoot up the car.
Shoot up the car?
Yeah, go.
What the f? What is that?
Yeah, this video is now going viral on social media. This poor driver, he says the woman contacted police while he pulled over not too far from the scene, but then more gunshots were fired. He says he felt unsafe and told her he couldn't wait for police any longer. They changed their destination and the woman was dropped off at a nearby relative's house. Still not clear what led to the shooting, but it happened in one of Chicago's most violent neighborhoods.
You telling me that this lady just told me to pull off and start driving because there's people about to start shooting at my car and I just picked you up? What is going on out here? Don't get me involved in your domestic situation. I'm about to tear up my car. I'm about to get bullet holes because I'm doing my job trying to make an extra side hustle, get a little bit of extra crumbs over here, and you gonna get me shot.
What? Jennifer Gilbo riding in Shoel Mahmoud's car when out of nowhere she appears to snap, lunging at the Uber driver, dousing him with pepper spray. Shoel picked up Jennifer and a friend on West 46th Street, but when they got to 65th and Lex, things quickly went south early Wednesday morning. What? Shoel insists he hadn't said a word to the ladies. The other passenger appears just as stunned.
Jen, what?
Repeatedly asking her friend why she was doing this, Jennifer would only say,
Get him out.
Get him out. In the first few seconds, Shoel tells me he tried to get out, but his seatbelt was on. Police did arrest Jennifer. She's charged with assault and now has a lawyer who at this point is not commenting.
Just to be driving and randomly this lady's gonna start pepper spraying you. People out here are so crazy and so wild. If you are out here turning on these apps and using this gig economy as a way to make some side hustle and get some money, make sure you have a camera set up for you because you got to be protected out here, man, for real, honestly.
What happens when Uber says, okay, no more drivers? We're cutting drivers. What happens when they say we're cutting Uber Eats delivery people? People in this economy are too dependent on gig work. Uber Eats, DoorDash, other Postmates, other delivery services. These jobs that people heavily depend on, once they're torn away, what will they do? We always think we have the ability to go make some money on the side. I'll just jump in the car, do some Uber rides and come back. What happens when they say no more? And all you have is your job or lack thereof. It's going to be a mess. So once that starts falling apart, I think we're really going to start seeing some pain in the economy. But listen, I don't know when that's going to happen. I think it's going to happen soon, 8 months, 9 months from now, but that's all I can.
I really did like this last clip because what happens when the apps don't work? What happens when you try to turn on the app and you can no longer, we're no longer accepting riders, everything is shutting down, you got to figure it out. The absolute point I want to drive home at the end of this video is, yes, Uber and Lyft, you're not going to get rich off of this and you're already depreciating and destroying your car, but you have to do what you got to do. Side hustle, selling your eggs. If you got to risk your life, oh man, that sounds crazy. If you got to risk your life, you got to damage your car, whatever you got to do to make sure that you're feeding your kids, I understand you got to take that risk. Some people will take it. But at the same time, know that there's other ways to go ahead and make funds. Something online, anything online. Again, I'm going to harp on that. This is the time. It is time for you to go ahead and launch your career. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be. This is the time. I want to say thank you guys though for hanging with me. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like. Comment down below what you want me to react to next and your thoughts on this video, man. We got to get out here and we got to make this money. Please, please tell me some pain points that would prevent you from actually starting your online career, whatever that may be. If you don't want to be seen or whatever it may be, please comment down below. I definitely want to go ahead and get some feedback, but I do appreciate you guys hanging out here with me. Definitely take care. It's your boy Hope, and we'll go ahead and see you guys in the next video.